How does someone fail at funny?
Oh, you know.
Oh, I know.
When it happens, you know.
Yeah, you do know.
Yeah, you feel it.
You feel it.
For sure. Like you described coming to the show and feeling nervous for the people on stage.
Ooh, I feel nervous.
Because you know it's at stake. The comedy failing. And
fail for you.
it's a really palpable experience, whether it's on stage or in a mixed group where you go to make a joke and people are like, just kind of like look at you or brush you off, or you can see that they're embarrassed for you.
Yeah. Oof.
That's rough.
Oof. So let's approach those from the two different contexts. I'm just putting this on Do Not Disturb. In the comedy club, to fail is for the audience not to feel anything at all.
Yeah, that's one variation of it.
Because it's not just laughs that you're wanting.
Yeah, you can fail to unify the room. That's what feels like really killing.
Tell me about unifying the room. What's that?
It's just there's zero latency between where you want the laughs to be and where the laughs are. So the audience is right in step with you. It's perfect rhythm.
Yeah.
And it's the whole room all at once. It's not like, oh, I got these people over here. I got this guy. This guy in the back liked that one. Everyone's liking every joke, or so it feels when you're on stage.
So the laughs are happening when you expect them to happen.
Right.
With your cadences.
Yeah.
And it's the whole room.
Uniform.
Yeah. And there's some like immediacy to their laughter. Mm-hmm. They're not scratching their head for a minute. It's like boom, boom.
Yeah, it's
they're
not like you have to pause
punchlines.
and go.
Yeah. So failing is not the whole room or dead silence.
So for somebody who's really hard on himself, and this is the case for a lot of comedians, failing is anything that's not that absolutely perfect.
That thing.
Yeah, that thing. But I think an objective, if that's an A+, you could go down to a B, and that's like a pretty good set. Some stuff falls flat, but you get maybe like one really big pop. That's like, okay.
In 3 minutes, maybe one good full room laughter is enough.
Yeah, sometimes. Or you get them for part, lose them for part.
Yeah. I imagine getting them back would feel like a triumph.
Yeah, so then some people lose them on purpose just to get them back, and then that feels like a win. Because if you're, some people are cocky and like they're just a no-name open micer who's been doing it for however long, and they're like, oh yeah, I lost him on purpose and got him back. But I think that's, you get to the level where you're having everyone, you're known as a comedian, you're touring around, you're having perfect sets every night. You probably start to mess with the formula a little bit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you got to be a C, slightly worse than a B, and then a full out failure would just be either dead silence or the crowd turns against you in some other way.
And that happens.
You can tell when the crowd is against you.
Ooh, that's got to be brutal.
Yeah.
So in my kind of journey, we'll just call it, to doing open mics and trying comedy on, I imagine it'd have to transcend past open mics for me to really get this full experience. But the first part would be to be okay with failing.
Yeah.
Be okay with having the crowd turn on me, having it be silent. Sounds really hard and difficult to come to be okay with.
It depends on who you are. I think some people are better suited to deal with that type of thing and maybe have more of an adjustment to say, oh, well, that didn't go great, but this part was good, this part was fine, and I don't have to take it personally.
Yeah.
So if you were going to try it, the advice I would give you is to approach the failure as not personal.
Yeah, it's not personal.
It's not personal.
I've thought about a funny way to look at it as, like, in my life, I've really succeeded at being rejected in one-offs, one or two. And that's prepared me to be rejected by the masses at one time.
Yeah. I think that's you'll be in good company at an open mic.
Because I've I've navigated failure and rejection in so many different contexts.
Yeah, and it's not guaranteed that your first time is going to be an outright failure. It could be, mine was, but other people have, like the first set just goes amazing.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, not my girlfriend, my fiance. Oops.
Fiance.
My fiance, as of 3 days ago.
You got to change that up.
I got to change it.
You're changing it now.
I got it right before, but now, of course, once the cameras are rolling.
Yeah.
She did comedy for, she did open mics and stuff before we met. And she says she never had a bad set.
Really?
Yeah.
She still do it?
No. She just gave it. Isn't that ridiculous?
She never had a bad set. She gave it up.
She just gave it a shot, and then it was kind of like, eh. But she also says, like, okay, I did it, and I got kind of what I wanted out of it. Maybe I'm putting words in her mouth to some extent, but I think the way she described it now, she saw that you got to go through that at some point, and juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
You've said that twice, and I'm going to get back to this juice squeeze thing later. To the fail, how do you fail? There's the context in our small group environments where you say something and it either doesn't land or people feel sorry for you having said something stupid.
Yeah.
Or what's the other possibility? The one I get scared about is that it's the racism or sexism or ageism or whatever it is I'm playing around with will overshadow the comedy of it.
You're worried that you're too racist to do comedy?
I'm worried that the comedy won't shine through.
In the current state of, you mean like in life?
We're in a workout context.
You're worried
and
about making an off-color joke in mixed company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be very apparent that I'm joking around or playing with an edge. And I think some folks in those mixed companies, they're like maybe different levels. We're in Austin, Texas, so there's different levels of what let's just call woke or like freedom justice warriors, what are the social justice warriors, whatever we want to call them, where they're like looking for people to get in line.
Or just normal people who are going to respond, like if somebody makes
an off-color,
like, that was weird. We're at work right now.
Yeah.
But
we're not at work. We're at work out.
We're at workout class.
But that's
Cameron's
still...
Cameron's at work.
Cameron's at work. That's why he only,
there's an agreed upon professionalism or
at workout.
Yeah. I mean, it's a co-ed group of all sorts of people from different ages and backgrounds.
And walk on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like goofing off in there. But because we see each other the same.
Right.
We've built kind of a camaraderie.
We've built a good rapport.
And I think part of that is testing, like, is it okay to be silly in those ways here?
Mm-hmm.
Will I be accepted in some of these like off-color jokes? It's what's called, I had a director of cognitive science at UT, David Beaver. He's also a professor of philosophy and linguistics. Really smart guy. He's awesome. David Beaver, shout out. He wrote a book called The Politics of Language, and he talks about, I get these mixed up. It's either positive politeness or polite positivity. And it's this way of like jesting with someone in a way that's kind of off color or negative, and they're accepting it or sending it back or meeting it with levity is communicating intimacy and connection.
Right.
It says, we're that deep.
Yeah.
That you can call me, like for two girls, if one was like, hey girl, you're a slut or something like that. And they were like, you know it, girl. Instead of like, oh, I am not.
Yeah.
Oh, how dare you?
Why would you use such a word?
Yeah. Why would you call me that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, they like meet it with, yeah, girl.
My friend Greg, Dr. Greg, he's a comedian. He's a funny comedian and a psychiatrist at the UT school over here.
Yeah.
Cool, accomplished guy, right? That's
Dr.
Cool.
Greg.
Dr. Greg Jomek. I'm going to say his last name.
Okay.
So people know. But he told me once about this book he read about like kind of the evolutionary psychology of humor. And the opening chapter I remember him telling me about was this idea that laughter is a way of signaling safety. So if you and your buddies are hunting a woolly mammoth, well, not a saber-toothed tiger in a wooded area, and you hear something rustle, and then you just clamor, all of a sudden you look over and your friend fell on his face into a woolly mammoth turd, then we all laugh. Oh, it's not
safe.
only is it not a threat, Doug's an idiot. And we're all safe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's maybe similar to what the Beaver Man has to say.
Yeah, Beavs. Yeah.
Has to say about it.
Yeah, when they laugh, they say you're safe to be you and to play around with me in that way.
Yeah.
And that's what I want in workout class. And I guess that's what I want on stage too, that safety to explore different topics.
Yeah. What makes comedy work is that it's not safe. You know, when you saw me on stage, when you saw everyone that night on stage, you felt nervous for them. And that's an essential ingredient, I think, is that you have to be somewhat like, oh man, I don't know how this is going to go. We're sitting really close to this guy. I don't know if he's going to talk to me or not. And then, oh, he's funny. He's talking to me and it's okay. It's kind of like spicy food or a haunted house. You got to have a little bit of unsafety to it.
Yeah.
So you can joke about whatever you want and be prepared to pay the bill on whatever that is.
Because there'll be real world consequences.
There will be real world consequences.
We've seen a lot of that.
Yeah. I think there's this idea that it's like, oh, well, if we can laugh about something, it's inherently positive. I don't know if that's true. I think laughter and humor is actually neutral. And then, you know, I'm not going to be the guy to assign who's morally good and who's morally bad. But humor can be used in morally bad ways. Like I can imagine.
Go on.
I can imagine. I'm trying to think of an example, like the World War II propaganda in Nazi Germany. I can imagine that people found those caricatures of Jewish people funny. It's like, oh well, what's the big deal?
They were dehumanizing folks.
And you know, it's I don't want to like relate that to people doing comedy about risky subjects. But it's a tricky slope because you can't control people's reactions and people's responses to it are true. I've definitely offended people with jokes on stage.
Of course.
My own parents. You know what I mean? Well, I guess you don't know what I mean.
Tell me.
Yeah, I performed comedy in front of my parents and their whole Sunday school class, and I just did this horribly dirty thing. I joke about my parents making love, graphic joke, and it was just like this weird David Lynch nightmare where it's a black box theater, and in the spotlight, only the front row where my parents and their Sunday school class are sitting is illuminated, and behind them is just a wall of blackness. And I can hear laughter coming from the black wall, but I can just see my dad's disappointed and embarrassed, rightfully so, face. Crucial failure.
Yeah.
I went home and they said to me, they were so, you know, looking back, really nice about it, but they said, you know, we respect what you do. It's an art form, but tonight you embarrassed us and hurt our feelings.
Ooh.
Yeah. That was not a great feeling.
No.
So yeah, there's real weight to words and real power to jokes. Not to get too like, be too reverent about it.
Yeah.
But there's real impact to jokes.
Well, when I was born in Mississippi, and so I have a lot of history of kind of comedy that puts black folks in a bad light. like black jokes, black people jokes that were not good,
Yeah.
but would laugh. I'm sure I laughed when I was a kid at some of these jokes, and other people would laugh. But that's probably an example of where comedy is perpetuating a culture of racism.
Yeah. It is. It's a signal of safety, but it's a signal of safety to be.
What are you what are you safe to?
Are you going to laugh at this, or are you against me?
Are you also racist?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then there is also a whole bunch of artists that I was raised listening to, like Richard Pryor, Red Fox, that would speak about racist topics.
Yeah.
Chappelle does that to some extent.
For sure.
Chris Rock did that to some extent.
Yeah.
Well, no, he does it a bunch, both of them. But those were places where it allowed you to be with racism, be with the negative impacts of these things, and laugh in a way that made it it would seep in. Like, oh, this stuff is happening. It shouldn't be happening. And it's okay to be with the awareness of it together or something. I don't know. I don't know how to explain this.
I think that's a perfect description of comedy at its best.
Yeah.
And when you're walking that line of whatever what was it, powerful positivity, or you're in between what's okay and not okay. It's okay because of where we are right now, and everyone's on board and having a good time. And it can have, you don't write comedy necessarily with the intention to, inspire positivity in people's lives, but at its very best, that's what it can do.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's how you fail at comedy, though.